everyone. My name is Liz Walla, and I'm on the hospitality sales team here at Hireology, and I'm thrilled to host the final installment of our latest Quick Hit series. Just a reminder that our Quick Hit series are a quarterly series of short, digestible webinars that cover a specific timely theme. This quarter, we've been covering all things attracting and hiring talent in the hospitality industry. Up until now, we've covered today's hospitality hiring landscape in depth. Everything from where you source better candidates to how you mirror your candidate experience to your guest experience, and to how you move faster without sacrificing quality. But today, I'm going to talk about how all of these topics we've discussed so far are much easier and much more effective when you bring them all under one centralized system. And then I'm going to walk you through how Hireology helps you do just that. Before we dive in, I want to take a minute to cover the current landscape first. This is baseline information we have covered in the last several webinars of the series, so I won't go too much into depth, but I think it's important to touch on for anyone new to this series as it lays the groundwork for why your hiring tools are so important right now. Candidates today have more options for work than ever before. In fact, experts predict that there are actually 2 unemployed job seekers for every 3 open jobs. And this number is likely even higher in the hospitality space, which is short millions of workers from before the pandemic. Because folks have plenty of options for work, the very best of the pool is applying to a lot of jobs. In fact, a recent Hireology study found that 45% of job seekers today are applying to more than 10 jobs. And on top of that, they're getting scooped up fast. The same study found that 43% of job seekers say they were hired in less than 2 weeks. That's the time it took for them to research, apply, go through the hiring process, and then receive an offer. So to summarize, there's already a shortage of top talent, and those that are active and qualified are applying to a lot of jobs and they're getting hired fast. This means that you need to be able to get in front of the best early, convince them to choose you over the 10 other jobs they're already looking at, and make them an offer fast. And of course, the best way to do this is by investing in modern technology, which is what we'll get into in the meat of this webinar today. I also just want to briefly touch on the rapid growth of new jobs in the hospitality space, which is truly exacerbating the issues I discussed on the last slide. According to MZ, jobs in the hospitality space have increased significantly in the last year, more than any other industry. Openings for hotel desk clerks and waiters and waitresses are up 80% from a year ago, and baggage porters and bellhops are more than 180%. Of course, this is largely because you were forced to let go a lot of people at the onset of the pandemic, and many of these folks are now exploring other career opportunities or choosing to remain outside of the workforce permanently. You'll see in the slide that the month-over-month numbers are actually negative, which can largely be attributed to seasonality. Most areas of the country are not popular destinations for tourists and travel right now, but this is going to change really quickly. And it's honestly why this discussion is so important now. You need to take some time to reassess your talent sourcing strategy before the travel seasons pick back up. And this brings us to the core of today's presentation. Why does the right hiring and HR tool matter, and exactly what does Hireology offer? The biggest benefit of an all-in-one hiring and HR tool is the consolidation of every tool that you're already using, which enables you to build your process around the candidate rather than around your multiple disparate tools. So let's take a bit of a closer look. As you'll see demonstrated on the slide, when you're operating with disparate systems, it's really tough to execute steps like candidate communications, to maybe scheduling interviews or onboarding seamlessly and fast. Everything you do is entirely dependent on your technology. For example, if you're relying on outsourcing your background checks through a disparate system, you might have to tell a candidate that it's going to take a week for you to get back to them, because that's how long it takes to log in, order the test, get the results, and then log back in to review those. But when you have a system that works faster and more efficiently, you don't need to make the process about you. You can actually make it more about the candidate. But when all of your tools come together under one platform with people at the center, you can move fast, save time, reduce errors, and truly put people first. Candidates who come in through job boards or referrals, or even your career site, are all going to be funneled into a single applicant tracking system. You can communicate with all of your candidates and track their progress within that same system, regardless of where they came from. You can order drug screens or reference checks within that system as well. Ultimately, you can build the process around your candidates and their needs rather than your own limitations. You can move fast, and it ensures that not only are you moving forward with the best in the bunch, but you're also providing an excellent experience for the candidate so that they stay interested and engaged in your role. As we've mentioned in previous webinars in this series, it's really, really important in this space to mirror your candidate experience to your guest experience. It needs to be easy, seamless, and engaging as possible for them, as this is what's going to set you up to be their employer of choice. And centralizing your hiring tools empowers you to do just that. So why are we pushing the need for hiring tools now? You might be thinking, hey, it's the slow season. Things won't pick up for a couple of months. You may be asking, why do I need to hire fast now? And the answer is that it takes some time to start yielding results from your efforts to improve. So really the time to start on this was yesterday. Like I mentioned, seasonal upswings are coming. We've got spring break for the southern states, summer tourist season for states like the Northeast, and even tourist destinations in places like Michigan and Wisconsin. You may actually be seeing a downswing in demand and thus hiring right now, but this is going to change fast. And the sooner you get ahead of it, the better off you're going to be. Additionally, Omicron cases are past their peak, and experts predict that given the vaccines and prior infections, we're reaching a point where a majority of the population has some sort of immunity. This means that people are going to want to get out and travel more. So you're going to see a big boom in demand in the coming months because of this as well. And then ultimately, if you're not ahead of these upticks and you're understaffed, you're going to find yourself unable to keep up with demand. Maybe your rooms go unbooked, or your bar and restaurant reduces hours or close completely because you can't staff them. That means you're missing out on revenue. On top of that, when you're short-staffed, it also leads to a poor guest experience and maybe unhappy customers, and it can even cause employee burnout. And that's really where Hireology comes into play. I want to spend the rest of our time today giving you an insider look into exactly how our all-in-one hiring and HR platform works, and why it's the very best at bringing all of your tools together so you can ultimately put your candidates first and hire the best faster. We're the only player in this space purpose-built for the hospitality industry that can succeed at both pre-hire and post-hire. So the three main things we do to help our customers are: first, we help attract the right people and build a recruiting pipeline that you need to be successful. Think of this as more as a sales and marketing function. We're going to help you build that funnel up. Second, we have a platform that will ensure your hiring managers are running the right process to make sure you're capturing those hires you need to make. And we do so in a way that's going to be scalable, predictable, and also really efficient. And then finally, we provide a platform that helps you manage the hires that you've made and employees post-hire. This can be anything from payroll, benefits, learning, engagement, and so on. So let's take a look at the attract pillar of Hireology, which primarily consists of career sites, job distribution, job boards, social media, and search engines, and then also employee referrals. Our career sites are designed to help you market your job to prospective candidates. We work with you to tell the story of your business and to showcase your employment brand via a hosted career site. The cornerstone of a company's recruitment marketing strategy is going to be that career site. It's the first thing that job seekers look to when they're evaluating whether or not they want to come and work for you. And our data tells us that an effective career site has a few critical components. First, it has to present a compelling employment brand. Today's job seekers, as we've talked about, have no shortage of options. Great candidates can literally work anywhere they want to. So what makes you different? Why apply to your open job? A career site should, at minimum, talk about three things, and that's going to be company culture, company, the culture, and then opportunity. Second, it has to be easy to navigate. In today's market, that means being mobile friendly and making it easy to apply. We know that 70% of today's job applicants originate on a mobile device, and a mobile-friendly career site is table stakes for achieving recruitment success. And then finally, it needs to flow directly into your applicant tracking system. Your ability to hire quickly is a function of our technology. It has to all work together. You know, I talk with hospitality leaders day in and day out, and one of the number one complaints that I hear are the lack of qualified applicants out there. And customers who leverage Hireology's career sites have seen an increase in the number of quality applicants coming into their funnel. And what we found is that those quality applicants enter into the funnel, and the career sites drive 34% of eventual hires made. Next, let's talk a little bit about job distribution. Today, most employers spend their money with one source with little return, or if employers are using multiple sources, the process can be repetitive, it can be time-consuming and manual, and can even require different logins with multiple steps. With Hireology, you gain access to new channels and bring channel management into one platform. We're always working to make sure that your jobs show up in the right place. On average, today's job seeker uses 16 different sources throughout their job search. That's why it's important to disperse your message far and wide while keeping costs low. In addition to job boards, you can send your open positions to search engines, social media channels, and your career site with just one click. Last, employee referrals are a really, really critical component of a successful recruiting strategy. Research shows that employees hired through employee referrals consistently outperform hires from other sources. They're hired faster, they stay longer, and they're much more engaged compared to employees hired through other sources. We know the applicant to hire percentage among referrals is over 4 times higher than the second most efficient applicant source. 4 times, that's huge. And then additionally, employees who make referrals are more likely to remain working at the company. So for these reasons alone, companies need to have a strategy in place to make referrals their number one source of hires. And that's where Employ Us, which is Hireology's referral technology, comes into play. Hireology is the only recruitment software out there who has a fully integrated referral management system built in. Through this product, you can create effective referral campaigns that give employees a simple way to submit referrals in seconds via a chatbot experience right from their phone. And we'll walk through what that looks like in just a moment. You can also promote program campaigns via email or text. You can post QR codes on site or even link it directly to your career site. And then lastly, you can manage rewards and reporting in a unified dashboard. So here's a quick overview that shows how Hireology and Employ Us works from the candidate perspective. You can create an email or text campaigns, as I mentioned, directly from within Hireology in order to promote the program and share jobs with your employees. And then from the employee perspective, it's really easy for them to respond and refer. You can see there's no login or app downloads required. So they'll be directed to this chatbot here where we'll collect their information, their referrals information. And then from there, I'll give you a quick view of what it looks like from the person being referred from their perspective. And the last thing you'll notice as this example finishes is once they're done referring, your team members have the option to cascade this promotion out to their own social media channels, which is another avenue for you to get in front of another group of people that you may not be able to leverage or get to on job boards. All right, and so here we'll take a look at it from the referrals perspective. They'll either get a text or an email and then can easily apply. So you can see really from both the referrer and the referral's perspective, it takes just a matter of seconds to complete this process. So we'll start by asking them if they're interested, what area of the business they're interested in, and then we're finally going to collect that last piece of missing information, whether it be a phone number or an email address. From there, they're going to be routed to your career site where they can apply for the position. Here's a look behind the scenes of how we create the campaigns being sent to your employees. Here's where you can customize a message promoting a certain position or property. And then on the right-hand side, we can dictate who that audience is that's going to receive that campaign message. Campaigns can be sent to everyone, or we can create certain groups, maybe for a specific property or a certain role like housekeeping or a certain team. And then from this section, you'll also be able to track the effectiveness of your campaign through conversion stats to determine what's working versus what isn't. Now, here's how it looks on your end as a user. What you're looking at now is primarily for administrators and people doing payouts. You'll see your referral pipeline status. Here you can keep track of referrals based on what stage they're in. Because Hireology is integrated directly with EmployUs, you'll see in real time any updates on whether they've been contacted or been hired. And then here on the top right, here's where you can track the payout status of those referrals. We can set up automatic emails to go out weekly or before payday to your finance team to update them on the status of your employee referral payout. And then here you'll also have the ability to cancel any payouts and select the reason why. Because we're centralizing recruitment strategy within Hireology, you'll have clear visibility into channel performance. As I mentioned earlier, referral applicants and candidates are much more likely to make it through your hiring process, get hired, and then actually stick around long-term. And this chart shows the top channels among all of our customers, and referral candidates are more than 4 times as likely to get hired than those coming from Indeed, which is the second most effective source. Next, I'll move to a discussion of core capabilities in our Hire suite. This is going to include things like our applicant tracking system, SMS and communication, and then reporting tools. Hireology is specifically built for multi-site operators. From this view, you'll have oversight into each property and how they're moving candidates through the hiring funnel. Next, at a location level, you can see a property's open positions and how many applicants and candidates you have in that funnel. You'll notice users are easily able to identify when new applicants and candidates enter into the process. And then, as I've said a couple of times, our platform ensures that applicants from all of those sources where we're posting, including job boards, will flow directly into Hireology. Here's where your hiring managers can automate communication and next steps for open roles or nurture referrals for future opportunities, while HR and senior management have the ability to monitor results across the company. As you know, quickly engaging applicants is really the key to success. In fact, research shows that companies lose nearly 90% of potential candidates due to a prolonged screening process. With all the work that we're doing to drive applicant flow, if your team does not facilitate a rapid response, you're not going to get the results that you need. And so this is where Hireology really differentiates itself from the alternatives out there. Our platform is specifically built to drive engagement and velocity. And then you'll notice a few tools to help hiring managers prioritize applicants and weed out the ones that they shouldn't be spending time on. So first, you'll actually understand or know which source they came in from. You'll have the ability to view their score from a pre-screened survey, and then you can stack rank those results so you're reviewing the people who scored the highest first. And then the third tool is used primarily for internal collaboration. Maybe you have someone that's doing the initial screening of that applicant. They can run this 5-star scale. That way, the hiring manager who's coming in down the road can prioritize their interviews based on that initial person's feedback. The whole goal of this is we want you to identify those quality applicants quickly so that you can invest time in building relationships with them and then getting them through your process. When it comes to speed, hiring managers can't rely just on desktop because it really slows everything down. which is why we also offer a mobile app to help hiring managers screen applicants, communicate, and advance them in the hiring process from anywhere at any time. We all know that GMs and hiring managers aren't waiting at their desks for applications to come in. They're overseeing the property. They may be covering the front desk or even cleaning rooms. So it's important to have the right tools that empower them to continue recruiting no matter where they are. And our customers who use mobile in tandem with desktop are able to hire twice as fast, making them more competitive and increasing the odds of landing that top talent. We also offer in-app texting, which is going to allow you to reach candidates and applicants more directly as opposed to sending emails or calling. When you send emails or call people, it requires candidates to find the time to respond and increases the chances of your messages getting lost or candidates simply ghosting you. In fact, one study found that 30% of emails are read, but 95% of text messages are read within 2 minutes. We found that customers using candidate texting decrease no-show rates for interviews by 20%, and they drive velocity. They shave off up to 8 days from their overall hiring process from this tool alone. Texting can also be a really great way to continuously sell your open roles as candidates are being contacted by your competitors. For example, after a candidate completes an interview, send a text message that says, "Hey, so-and-so, it was really great meeting with you. I want to share the 3 reasons why our employees love working here. We look forward to continuing the conversation." This is going to keep you top of mind and set you up to be the employer of choice that they want to come work for. After applicants have been screened and qualified, they'll transition to the candidate tab where you'll see a linear workflow of your hiring process. From here, you can see who's in your pipeline, where they're at in the process, how they stack up to the other candidates you're considering, and then you'll also know exactly what needs to happen next in order to push them through your funnel. These steps can be customized on a job-specific basis. So for example, entry-level positions like housekeeping, you may have 2 to 3 steps in your process, but for other higher-level positions, they may need to complete more steps. And within Hireology, our steps can consist of a few different things. First, we have industry and role-specific interview guides that make everyone feel like a hiring expert. With questions designed to assess unique fit, you'll be able to identify qualified applicants faster and minimize mistakes based on gut feelings or initial first impressions. Second, we have a whole variety of integrated verifications, things like automated checks, and drug screens, and then hard skill and personality assessments. We found that integrated verifications deliver results up to 92% faster compared to manual references and assessments. Third, we also can provide customized checklists, and then finally offer letters. One other thing I want to highlight is Hireology's new feature. Scheduling and conducting interviews is a really crucial part of the hiring process, obviously. And oftentimes the experience can be cumbersome because it requires manual coordination over email from the applicant and that manager. So with this new feature, interview scheduling is going to offload that cumbersome process. And it does so by dynamically showing a hiring manager's availability. Candidates can then select a time that works for them, which will automatically sync with the hiring manager's calendar. This saves our users and their candidates time, driving faster hiring and velocity. And the flexibility and ease of using an automated interview scheduling platform has resulted in 80% of candidates scheduling their interview within 24 hours of receiving an invitation. So again, it's a really great way to speed up that process, to get your candidates through that process quicker and beat out your competition. Hireology's insights reporting tracks the effectiveness of your hiring process and is set up to answer 3 main questions. The first question is, how fast am I hiring? The longer a position goes unfilled, the more productivity is disrupted. We all know that. So with Hireology's Velocity Insight, business owners can measure and improve time to hire with a clear understanding of the percentage of applicants being reviewed, overall time to review, and then time spent within each step of your process. The second question is, am I following my hiring process? The adherence insight ensures businesses follow an impactful, compliant hiring process by holding team members accountable for completing all the steps within that process. And then the last question is, which sources result in the most quality applicants? The sourcing insight enables business owners to see which job sources drive the most quality candidates, which channels result in the most hires, and overall job ROI. It can be used for things like optimizing job board spending and eliminating sources that aren't working. Among our Hireology customers who use insights, we found out that they are able to optimize their strategy to see 2 times more quality applicants. B, the average time to review applicants is 3 days faster than non-insights users. And third, and I think the most impactful, is that insights users make hires an average of 5 days faster. So you can see that Insights is a really powerful tool. It's going to give you complete visibility into the hiring process. It empowers our customers to make more strategic decisions to drive the outcome that they're looking to achieve. And finally, our third pillar is manage. This is going to include all of our post-hire tools, things such as onboarding, time and attendance, payroll, benefits, and performance management programs. These are all designed to be mobile, accessible for employees, managers, and administrators. This means that your team can see exactly what you need them to, when you need them to know it or see it, and take action directly on their phone for tasks like punching in and out, enrolling in benefits, and maybe updating personal information and printing out payroll records. Among our customers, we found that those who've streamlined their hiring and HR processes can reduce turnover by 16%. And given the turnover that we're seeing today within the industry, being able to have a reduction by 16% is going to be pretty impactful. And so that's all I have for you today. If you have any questions or you would want to speak with us one-on-one about how we can help you improve your hiring efforts, you can always reach us at info@hireology.com. Thanks, everyone.